friends, welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from each and every day, from the Impact Power Sports Studio. Impact Power Sports, thank you so much. Great sponsor of mine. If you're interested in a Yamaha golf cart, wouldn't that be fun? You know, some of you folks like to get your rich ass going in a Yamaha golf cart around the neighborhood. Maybe you live on a golf course. Maybe you've got you got a little getaway place. You need a golf cart at that place while you're tooling around doing your thing. You can get one at Impact Power Sports, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. They also have a full line of ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles, e-bikes, go-karts, full service department there for you. Great family business. Impact Power Sports. Go say hi to Drew and Ron, the father-son tandem at Impact Power Sports. They're online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I managed to start the show on time today. Chris says, easy, you need a lawn mowing sponsor. I need a lot of sponsors. I'm always looking for new sponsors. If you know somebody who has a business, send them my way. There's no one that we don't want. You know, I'll take anybody. Doesn't matter who. 989-348-Q100. You're like, why are you giving that number out? Well, that's part of my life essence during the first part of the day. So I started doing the show on the radio, doing the radio show, and it's a free-form radio station that takes suggestions. So I give out the phone number, and people call and they get their songs played. This doesn't happen anywhere else. This is probably the most unique radio station that exists on the planet, and I bring it up because it's not a good idea to play songs that get played over and over again on this radio station, because the audience is so trained to hearing deep cuts that they would get offended if you played Stairway to Heaven. So I just finished that up. Another successful broadcast doing the Insane Asylum on Q100 Michigan. Show note. This is the last day of the podcast week. Right here, right now, today. We'll do this show today. We'll do the Patreon bonus podcast. Ben and I are not able to meet to be able to bring you another episode of Who Are These Free Beers and or the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. That will resume next week. If there was any chance to do it today or do it this week, it would have been today. But Ben's going to see Louis C.K., what a story that is. He was part of that cancellation thing, and that was centered around his desire to masturbate in front of people. I don't know. I mean, that's really, I think it's just part of this fucked up defect of his. I think that's kind of insane. He would have people, let's say he has friends over, and he would actually say, hey, do you mind if I masturbate in front of you? And then that happens. And then there were people who did not consent. Who's the guy or the girl that says, yeah, I don't care? I mean, what the fuck is going on there? So Ben is going to see Louis C.K., who I don't know if he still likes to do that. I think we live in a crazy world where he can make a comeback, because that's such a strange existence. And it wasn't like he was assaulting people, but he was. He wasn't physically assaulting them, but I think it's all kind of in that weird area It's just fucking weird. And as far as I understand this, there was a person who was like, no, I don't want you to do that. Or he didn't say anything at all or something like that. And he just started pounding his pud right in front of the people or whoever it was. My God. So he vanished. He went away. You know, at the time, everybody hated him because he did that, because that's the way we rolled back then. And I think a lot of the people, I mean, some people might say that was like a witch hunt, the whole Me Too movement, but I don't think it was at all. I mean, if there's someone who's fucked up doing crazy shit, yeah, you need to. Who cares? If you're gonna go ahead and do something that horrible to someone, no one should have a problem with them ratting them out. Nick says, I mean, he did ask first. Well, in not all the cases. There was at least one that he just, next thing you know, that person turns around and there's this Louis C.K.'s stiff dick. Badger says cancel culture days are all done. Well, yes and no. I mean, I think if you did something terrible, you could still get canceled. So I don't believe that that's entirely true. Alan says, I really thought you were talking about Ben Glaze for a minute there. Which, by the way, Chris says, maybe it's just a big meat-beaten session. Ben can bring his childhood friend. Ben did, in fact, when he was a little boy, he revealed on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast that when he was, you know, when you're young and you're like adolescence is happening, you're experimenting. I guess it's not out of the question for like one kid to have figured it out before the other kid, you know, and like Ben and this kid, when they were this age, whatever age it was, they had a meeting of the minds. And I guess it was like, hey, have you touched your penis and figured out that it feels good yet? And the kid's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, yeah, if you grab your ding dong and you repeatedly beat it, it's like insanity. And then like a little bit of goo flies out of there. And he's like, huh? What are you talking about? He goes, I mean, I just like pat it? No, you got to give it a big stroke job. Here, let me show you. And Ben grabbed his buddy's crank and feverishly took him to Pound Town. Not all the way, like the kid didn't blast. But Ben said, yeah, didn't that feel good? The guy goes, yeah. And he goes, see? There you go. Off you go. Yoda World says, yeah, that's insane. Yes. When he told me, it blew my mind. I had not heard that story ever. I mean, I'd never heard of anybody doing that. But I think because it's a kid, you got to give him a pass. That's like child experimentation. Man Bun Chris says, I cannot believe he told us that, LOL. Yoda World says the same thing. That's a story that you take to the grave. Yes, but let's be honest here. Storytellers is, even if Ben can't tell a story to save his fucking life, that's a great story. That's unbelievable. And every time it comes up on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, there's another question I have about it. But it was as matter of fact as like one kid showing another kid how to put a bike chain on a bike. Piano Finger Banger says, no, that is sexual assault of a minor. Well, before we go down that road, let's understand something. Two boys, same joke, or same age. Man Bun Chris says, was that a joke? Piano finger banger? Yeah, I don't know exactly because I see it in text. Piano finger banger says it's sexual assault of a minor. You have two minors at that point. Ben Glaze and whoever this kid is, who he still knows to this day. And Ben has discovered himself. And then Man Bun Chris says, no, I'm saying I was joking if he was replying to me. Man Bun Chris had said, Eric's like, yeah, everyone learns that from their camp counselor. I gotcha. I was lost there in the chat. My apologies. So that actually happened. Louis C.K., different. Adult. I kind of, but the idea, that's a story you take to the grave. I think that might be one that I took to the grave. But you got to give Ben points for sharing that. Chris says Ben and his pal were probably watching that old hag sex show from the 90s. I don't know what that is. You mean the Golden Girls? Is that what you're referring to? I'll never forget. Piano Fingerbanger says, mostly joking, but also that's such a wild-ass thing to do and then tell other people about later in life. Oh, without a doubt. That's essentially, some would say that's an overshare. I got busted by my mom. And, boy, she just was so sneaky about it. I just did not hear her walking down the hall. And then she kind of stuck her head into the room that I was in. So picture me being my mom. And then this is how the face flies into the room. It was that quick. She kind of leaned into, like, I don't know, asked me to take out the garbage. And then, she's like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, no. That must have been horrible for my mother. It was never spoken of. I mean, how do you I have no other memory as to what happened after. I just remember her peeking in and like, we made eye contact. Like, oh my God, fuck, no. How could this possibly be? So I was mortified. She had to be too. Maureen says, always knock before entering. The door was open. You see, when you're that pent up, you just kind of like, all right, let's go. I don't know. It was awful. Yesterday, totally different topic. It was book club. And so it was 6 p.m. And I don't want to steal the thunder of book club, but a couple of interesting things. First of all, Stevie was there to check out our discussion of book club, and it only went about 20 minutes. We went as far as we could with this, but the hilarious part was Stevie. She says, yeah, I could only make it to chapter 3 on the book. And then she gave up. Now, in my opinion, that goes way against the spirit of book club. You fight. You fight through it. To be honest with you, I'm starting to think that people were excited about book club when we talked about it. But when it comes to actually discussing the book, well, I'm not so sure that the folks that we have in book club are like on board. Now, perhaps it's just a busy day. And then people like to actually listen to the audio version or watch the on-demand live stream that we do on Patreon. But for the amount of people that we have in book club, I with as much attention as we've put on it, I'm a little shocked at how low the attendance was. You had Easy, you had Stevie, Maureen, Black Belt Nick in Houston, and who else? There's 6 people. Jeremy K is in book club. Nathan R., Francis C., Nick in Houston, Stevie, Rebecca, Derek D. couldn't make it. He's excused. Becca Shea, Chris K., Megan. Megan was there. She hasn't read the book either. Maureen was there. Amy, Mike Q, Black Belt Nick, Tophus, Aram's wife, Joanna, Adam Balboa, Mallory, Aaron F., Kyle Tomei. Okay. We had a lot of discussion about the book, not a lot of people discussing the book, and the people that were in there, not all of them have read it. Stevie only made it through like 20 pages and gave up because she's a loser. Megan's a huge piece of shit. She hadn't read one word of the fucking thing. She just likes to be silly. She shows up. She's walking through a goddamn Target during book club. And I go, are you at a Target store? And she's like, yes, but I'm not supposed to be. And I'm like, why? How come you're not supposed to be at Target? Are you, did you get banned for shoplifting or something? She goes, no. She's trying to be quiet. It was like a Joe stunt. She's like, no. They changed their DEI policy. So, I'm not supposed to be here. I go, what? You're sticking to that? And she's like, yes. Well, no, I'm here. And then Stevie, who is also pissed off at Target, she was upset that Megan was at Target because they're supposed to be woke and fuck and not be going to like Target. Because, and I'm like, well, I can get behind that if that's what you want to do. But Megan is like, she's obviously she'll only go so far. Megan says, to be fair, you guys made this book sound awful. Well, yes, that's true. She says, I am still excited about book club. I told you I'd get the questions up and running. Sometimes it's hard to remember things to talk about. Well, I don't know if you're referring to like AI-driven questions for a book, which, yeah, I don't know. I think I don't have a problem coming up with things to talk about of the book. You know, honestly, I think we got a lot of mileage out for those of us who read it as to the things we like, dislike, our concerns about it. I just asked the question, what the fuck is going on with the book? What is happening here? I don't understand. Man Bun Chris says, can we do smaller portions or else I'm always going to be behind, LOL. Okay, dude. No, we can't do smaller portions of books. You had 2 weeks to read like 150 pages. You know how small of an amount that is? Okay, 170. Let's do the math. Easy math. Wow, 12 pages a day. That's 10 minutes, cock. No. Less. It's take forever to get through a fucking book. Amy is here. She says, I'm in the same boat. I don't quite understand what's happening in the book. Yeah, stick with it. We have to. That's what the Big Fraud Book Club is supposed to be about. Not every book is going to be a page turner. The Nikki Sixx book was easy to read because he's a retard just writing retard shit. It's so simple to read. He's talking about jamming needles in his veins and being a fucking idiot. Nick says, I read The Stand in 6 days. Great book. Alan says, R.I.P. Big Fraud Book Club. Well, the only way there would be an R.I.P. to Big Fraud Book Club is if everybody's like, well, fuck this. I just don't want to read anymore. You just didn't want to do it. How could you go from like, yeah, this is fun. Let's do it. Sign me up. And then, first of all, half the people read it. And then the other half doesn't even show up to the live stream to discuss the fucking book. At this rate, I'm going to start a book club episode live stream and no one's going to be there. And it's just going to be me talking about the book. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I will do that. I can handle a review on my own. I handle this podcast on my own, no problem. Megan says, I am doing it. It was a weird 2 weeks. Okay. I love you, but that is a horseshit excuse. I can't even say it. Totally excuse-filled show today. Aram says, why pick a bad book when there are so many good ones? Well, I didn't pick the book. And this book came with a rave review for it. And I didn't say it's a bad book. I just said I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I'm willing to stick with it. I went ahead and read, I was talking about this in book club, that book, Cabin in the Woods or Knock at the Cabin Door, whatever the fuck it is. And it was great till the ending. Then it sucked. So I think that if I stick with it, it'll come together. And Nick himself said, yeah, it gets a little, but it's setting it up. So I don't agree with that statement at all. And I guess my point is, if you're going to say, yeah, let's do a book club, you dumb motherfuckers have to read the fucking books. Read the books and then participate in the goddamn show. I mean, all I did was say, hey, should we? Everybody goes, yeah, let's do it. So I organize all this shit, draw a name. The first name I draw is Maureen. She just goes, I don't know any books. Her sister has to pick a book, so that was fucked up. But it worked out. Book was good. That was awesome. We had a good conversation. And then second, Nick, it's your turn. You're up. Okay, I'm going to go with the book Anthony Jeselnik recommended. He loves this book, Martyr. Let's read it. Okay, we all get the book. Okay, let's read the book. It's time to start the book club. No, hardly anybody's there. Megan's picking her ass in a goddamn Target. Stevie's, I didn't like it, so I didn't read it. What the fuck? Holy shit. Megan says, just downloaded the audiobook. I'll be listening at 1.5 and I'll be ready next time. Whatever. Piano Finger Banger says, is this the same reaction that happens when your students from podcast class don't do their homework? No, it would never be this reaction. Rebecca says, I was at the gym. I'm always at the gym until at least 6:30. Well, you'll have to catch up. As long as, but you got to read the book. Have you read the book? I mean, of those names that I announced, how many of you have the book? And of those of you that have the book, how many of you have read the book? And if you haven't read the book, why? And if you don't have the book, why? And the answers to both those questions are, because I didn't do it. I didn't buy the book or I didn't read it. Those are the only answers that I will accept. And if you did read the book, what am I doing here? Why am I having a, hey, let's have it. No one's there. God damn. All right. Megan says, I have 2 copies now, 1 audio and 1 ebook. I'll do better next time. Man Bun Chris says Mallory's finished Nikki 6 and is ordering the new one. Wait a minute. Didn't you... Okay. Man Bun Chris says, I don't have it. Still on Nikki 6. Almost done with that. You're on the last book? Nick says, I propose a big fraud documentary club. I don't have time to read. Nonsense. You choose not to. You just don't do it. Everybody's got fucking time for 10 minutes a day to read 12 pages. Oh, my God. You guys are the worst at book club. Rebecca says, I'm just logging in this morning. I haven't listened to the book club show yet. Did you choose the next person who picks? No, not yet. Man Bun Chris says, if only Easy had this mindset with running. What are you talking about? I ran yesterday. I have done everything in my power to be on the roads. I've been recovering from injury, which, by the way, I ran yesterday, and then I'm laying in bed, and my hip starts hurting. I'm like, oh, God, I was doing so good, and it was keeping me awake. I couldn't sleep on my side, so I had to take, what do you call it, Tylenol PM for pain and to help me sleep. So it's kind of fucked up. Tyler says, if you have time to watch documentaries, you have time to read. Right. I think this audience is, are we like exposing ourselves here? Of being just like horrible? Of being, are you guys dumb? Going back to Ben Glaze handling his friend. Tyler says, quote, I wonder what blowjobs feel like. I don't know. I'll do you if you do me. Yeah, Ben Glaze, did that happen? Amy says, GD, Man Bun Chris. You're fucking everything up here. Nick. Black Belt Nick says, read it on the toilet for God's sake. Nick, the electrician, says, I can multitask with the documentary like right now, easy on the TV and cleaning my room. Okay, awesome. I will try again with the next edition of Book Club. We will be wrapping up the finale, I guess, of the book Martyr. I don't yet have that scheduled, but I will schedule it, and we'll get back after it. And then I'll also be drawing a name very soon as to who is the next person who will choose a book for book club. Aram says documentary club is a great idea. Book club is a great idea, okay? If you morons cannot finish book club, I mean, let me know that if you're like, hey, Easy, I choose not. It was a great idea in my mind, but I'm not doing it now. Tell me, and I will start to take you out of book club. I will start to whittle down people in book club, and then we'll soldier on without you. Okay? Aram's wife is supposedly in book club. Has she purchased the book? Has she done anything? I believe her name is Joanna. All right. Rebecca says, let's get book club up and running before we launch another club. I am not opposed to documentary club, but you're right. I want to see book club through. Okay. Nick says, a lot of guff from someone who also didn't hit the target page count either. Okay, you're talking about me. Well, yeah, I'm a little lean. I'm about 60 pages off of the page count. That's true. But I still say I've done a hell of a lot more than the rest of you. And I hosted the show. We had people who read it who didn't even show up to the show. Okay. So that is me trying to get some life back into book club. Some energy and some enthusiasm for the book club. Welcome into Ryan Hoppy, who is my latest Patreon audience member. I think Ryan was a Patreon audience member back in the day. That is from the podcast Hoppy Hour. Get it? It's not happy hour. It's Hoppy Hour. Thank you, Ryan. I covered this in the Patreon. I want to talk about it here too, so that more people can hear it. I heard from Alan M. in Wisconsin. He sent me a message on Messenger, and he writes, did Kelly ever send you a nasty message? She was talking about sending somebody a super nasty message, and she said something that made me think that she was referencing you, EZ. She was making some comments while she was describing this. Maybe I have rabbit ears, but it kind of felt like she was talking to you. And I saw that, and I went, and I'm doing the math in my head. And I thought back to a moment in time in the past, February. Out of the blue, I got a message. And when I got the message, I thought, I'm going to guess that this is Kelly Cheese. In fact, I wrote to this person who was writing it. At the end of it, I wrote, it was nice talking to you, Kelly. I was doing P90X, and JMC 515157 on Reddit sent me a message. And it said, I just want you to know that I hate you. And I was like, well, I don't know who this is. And I wrote, I doubt it. And then I said, don't be so sore. Also, I'm fantastic at everything I do. So I'm trying to, ease the tension with whoever this is. This person then, who I think is Kelly, says, yeah, well, you're a narcissist. And that's what narcissists say. And one of you talked about this on Patreon yesterday. People throw that around quite a bit. Oh, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. You're doing this. You only care about yourself. You know. I wrote, there's a lot of things that I can be labeled as. A narcissist is not one of them. Have we interacted in the past, like face-to-face? Are you possibly a former coworker? And this person wrote, we have interacted, not face-to-face, and I'm not a former coworker. At this point, I already think it's her. And then I'm like, and we actually, her and I did have a interaction via Messenger prior to this. Nothing face-to-face. I wrote, aha! Honestly, What could you possibly have against me that could indicate that I am a narcissist? I don't even know what a narcissist is off the top of my head. Which I kind of did, and I kind of do now, and I think I touched on it. A person who's only interested in helping themselves, I guess. Promoting themselves, talking about themselves. Everything has to do with you. Then I wrote, do you mind if I asked you 20 style questions to try to figure out who you are? I bet I can do it. No response. Don't get bashful on me now. No response. I don't get a chance to talk to too many people, and you seem interesting to me. No response. Then I wrote, I go pretty hard against my old show, because that's what the basis of this was. Quite often, if I had to guess, I would say you are a friend, family member, or one of those show members. I could see why you would be upset. I get it. However, this could have all been avoided. 100% Greg's fault. Whoever you are, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will answer any questions you have. Honestly, I have nothing to hide and nothing to fear. Still no response. Then I wrote, the only reason why you are not responding to me is because you're realizing you've made a mistake and that I am quite rational and easy to talk to. You feel bad about picking the fight and you're trying to save face. It was nice talking to you, Kelly. That's what I said. Then I forgot about it. But when Alan said, did you get messaged by Kelly? And I'm like, well, I got a nasty message from an anonymous person on Reddit. I suspected it was her. What did she say about this? He says, I'll screen grab it and send it to you. This is that moment on Friday's show of last week.
Dumb things and stuff, but never evil. Okay. Kelly, have you ever done anything evil?
Yes.
When was the last time you did something you consider evil?
I think I sent a pretty evil text message, a super evil text message to some people about a year ago. And I just told them that I hope they had fun in their sad, pathetic lives. But I said it in a pretty cruel way.
Cruel?
I don't regret it.
Like intentionally cruel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I met cruelty with cruelty, and that's or evil with evil.
Yeah.
So it wasn't unsolicited.
No, it was reaction to evil. And I was like, all right, you go low, I'm going lower.
All right. So that has been my slug line forever. You go low, I go lower. She heard me say that, and that is her little way, her sneaky way of referencing me. I mean, I thought she was talking about me without hearing that, but she actually says what I say there. And instead of just saying, yeah, it was Eric Zane, she's got to do it that way.
It was a time in my life where I really wanted to go low. I needed an opportunity. They opened the door for me. But the most evil thing I have.
All right, so that's it. Nader says she also said big fraud. She did? I didn't catch that. In that, I don't think she said it there. Man Bun Chris says cruelty with cruelty should be added to the montage. Oh, without a doubt. Tyler says, I don't know why, but I can't stand her southern drawl. Aram says, Hot Wings used to always refer to people as a self-centered narcissist, which is duplicative and drove me nuts. So, all right. Now, what's interesting about that is she's making it sound like that was evil. It's like, are you kidding me? That's not evil. Who cares? it wasn't a big deal at all. I don't care if you think I'm a piece of shit. Who can, I mean, it's people do that all the time to me. You can't make everybody happy. If you've been on the receiving end of something from me, I mean, my God, it's a blessing. There's a pretty good chance that you deserved it in the first place. So there's that. And it wasn't a big deal. There's nothing that anybody has said or done to me that actually has hurt me ever. She is a fragile flower. Man Bun Chris says that's what BetterHelp has taught them. Anyone you don't like, you just label them as narcissistic to justify the hate. LOL. Well, yeah, I see that. I hear that. And I think that they would be better off if they just said, yeah, well, fuck you, without all of that. Actually calling me out by name, I think, would be a better play on their part. And I would love that. That would actually help me. I don't think that'll ever happen. But if she thinks that's like a big deal, what she did, oh, it's so not. Aram says that it's pretty creepy to anonymously say that out of the blue to someone on Reddit. I'll tell you this. If Kelly Cheese ever took the time to reach out to me, we would have a conversation, and I can promise you she would not feel badly about me. She would understand exactly where I'm coming from if she had full context about who I am, what I am, and why I do what I do. I can promise you that. All right. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. The whole world has overreacted. When I saw it, I went, oh, okay. This is from TMZ. Those two guys on TMZ, the black guy and the white guy who've been there forever, they were doing a live stream in the newsroom, and they were discussing Lil Nas X. And then the news came out that they had just gotten engaged. And this is a live reaction in the moment when it first became reality.
He was not all there in that video. He was not all there. And just
it feels like he's still.
Hold on, aren't these guys lovers? I think they are. And this guy's he looks way different. I think he has hit that point. Remember I told you, age 44 and 60, you do a dramatic change in your physical appearance. I think he just hit that.
all there. And just
it feels like he's still
and to talk
processing.
about it was terrifying, and it feels so vague.
What happened?
What? Taylor Swift's engaged?
Right.
Okay. Oh my God.
Says your English teacher and gym teacher are getting married.
Oh my God.
All right, so let's.
Okay, we're gonna. Sorry, Nas.
He goes, sorry, Nas. Yeah, they're pushing Nas to the side to talk about this. If you're Nas, who, in my opinion, that whole thing was a goddamn publicity stunt of him walking or doing his gay walking in the streets of L.A. and getting arrested.
Okay, we're gonna. Sorry, Nas. We're gonna shift gears here. So
That chick is fanning herself. She can't believe it.
I'm sweating. Oh my God,
okay, wait a minute.
This is everything that we've ever wanted. Look at the ring.
This is everything that we've ever wanted. Oh, my God. How awful is this?
Is everything that
Okay,
we
wait.
You're
guys,
not getting married.
Guys,
Why are you?
Where did this come out? Who said what?
So Taylor.
It's on her
So here's what
Instagram,
happened.
and she
Can
wrote
we-
your English teacher and
Daniela, can you-
Yeah, this chick needs mental assistance right now. If anyone acts this crazy over something like this, you need to be institutionalized with intensive shock therapy.
Alyssa's writing it. Alyssa's writing.
All right. Swift, please calm down.
Hold on, just listen to me for a second. I want one.
Look, they can't even console the staff here. They can't even help them try to harness their feelings.
One paragraph in 2 minutes and
put
get
the
it up on the
photo in.
site.
Oh, the guy's giving orders.
Photo show.
You know what?
No, but I mean, what is the photo show?
Hey guys, let me in this post.
If you scroll, there's
Let me in real quick. We want to get this up quick.
Wow, they're all mobilizing.
Hey, I need somebody to feed me some information.
I ordered Maynard. The only information is she captured it.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Tell me, give me some information here.
It's interesting to watch this, though. I have to admit, of them
Taylor
reacting.
Swift. Taylor Swift is engaged to Travis Kelce.
A photo of them in a garden with flowers.
Telegram.
Take that. Take them. Them's work. Take that in.
I have details.
Okay.
Okay. Taylor, hold on. Taylor posted on what, Instagram?
On Instagram,
Hey, Melissa.
Taylor and
can you
Travis
give me my mic?
jointly posted
And
a photo.
engagement.
Oh my God, I can't take it. It is interesting to see them do that, but come on. Tyler makes a great point. The newsroom wasn't even this active on 9/11. Tyler also adds, her husband saw this and thought, you didn't even cry when we got engaged. David says, who the hell cares? Oh, a lot of people care. Oh, my God. Within an hour, 16 million people had liked the Instagram post, including our very own murder lover Linda, which I was surprised to see. Let's see, 29 million now. 29 people around the globe have liked the status. A typical Taylor Swift post, anywhere from 4.5 million to 5 or 6 million. 29 million people have liked that post. I wonder how much money she makes just for a post. Taylor Swift is worth $1.6 billion. Travis Kelce net worth. He makes north of $30 million a year. Travis Kelce's net worth is $70 million. That seems ridiculous. The ring that he purchased for her is an enormous diamond. I forget how they described it. It's a particular cut, and it's kind of. I'd like to get a little closer of an image of it. And the stone alone, I guess, cost $500,000 ballpark. Molly says, I don't care about rich assholes. Man Bun Chris says, can't wait till Caitlin Clark gets married to see her reaction for that. Maureen is indicating that murder lover Linda is a closeted Swiftie. Yeah, I think that that's a safe assumption to make. Nick describes that reaction as enraging. Oh, my God. I don't know how they, because it seemed to me that those images that we saw of the engagement which I'll share that with you. It all looks very orchestrated. This garden setting, this image here. I don't know how spontaneous it was. And if you're Travis Kelce, I guess what I want to know is how the hell, because if you've ever seen him or watched him on his podcast, when especially in the most recent episode that or in the episode that she was on, I don't know. I can't imagine him being effective as a football player anymore. He kind of tanked at the end of, excuse me, stand by. He kind of tanked at the end of the football season last year. So, you know, if you're him and you start to perform shitty, which is entirely possible, you know, it's going to, the natural thought process is people are going to blame Taylor Swift. I am indifferent to these people. I don't hate them. I don't like them. I mean, I don't hate them, and I don't have any bad feelings about them, is what I'm trying to say, nor good feelings. I have no feelings, frankly. Tyler says their wedding will get more press than any royal wedding. Oh, 100%. She is, in my opinion, the biggest entertainer that has ever entertained, without a doubt. Bigger than Elvis, bigger than Michael Jackson, and I'm not interested at all. Molly is leaning into it. She says, I don't give a fuck because I'm crabby. So she's not in a great mood, and I get it. That's okay. Cole is here. I can't wait to see all these bitches crying when they get divorced. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be the case. They've had a great long courtship. Piano Finger Banger says, I'm not a big fan of Travis. However, his brother Jason is pretty awesome. A lot of people love Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce, his story is the fact that prior to Travis Kelce, I didn't know that Jason Kelce existed as a football player. I don't follow football enough. And the dude had a great career because it's kind of like he's an offensive lineman, whatever the fuck. So as soon as I heard that Travis Kelce, like when he started, before he became a Swiftie or before he even was starting to date her, Kelce was a fucking beast of a tight end. He's a Hall of Famer. So's Jason. That's when I figured out who Jason was. Like, oh, God, they're brothers. Okay. And then he shoots his shot, Kelce, and he's successful. Now Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce do one of the most watched and attended podcasts in the world. And they make great money doing that. I love the fact that if people want to say what they want to say and you get a famous person who puts out a podcast, I don't care for the podcast myself, but a lot of people love it. The fact that they turn to podcasting. They don't do radio jobs. They just go in the other room, live stream, record, and boom, they've got a podcast, and then people watch it, and then they make tons of money. Tyler says football fans will be more annoyed because every Chiefs game will feature more Taylor Swift, including zoom-ins of her ring. Yeah, that's good for business. I honestly thought that Taylor Swift was going to affect the election, that her supporting Kamala Harris would lead to Kamala Harris winning the election. I don't get any hate towards Taylor Swift at all. I don't understand why anybody would hate her. Now, you know that the MAGA Republicans and Trump have hated her. And this comes up because Trump came out just the other day and said I like Taylor Swift. President Trump. I don't want that. Compliments newly engaged couple. He's showering her with praise and love following her engagement to Travis Kelce. A reporter asked him about Tuesday's engagement at a cabinet meeting. I don't know why that keeps happening. Trump wished Taylor and Travis a lot of love and went on to say he thinks Taylor is a terrific person. Now, that is a huge flip because this is what he said right around the election. September 15th, 2024. I hate Taylor Swift. So I think it's up to the press to say, Mr. President, what's going on here? You said you hated her. Now you wish her well. If Trump came out and said, "Yeah, I was just pissed off that she supported Kamala Harris," I would have so much respect. I would have respect for him if he said, "Yeah, that's why I said that." And I think it's safe to assume that is why. In fact, in May, Trump posted that Taylor was no longer hot. Has anyone noticed that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, she's no longer hot? And I want to know what he means by that. Do you mean like attractive? Or do you mean like her star is not, her popularity is not hot. Her star has fallen. Her popularity is waning, which I don't think that's true. I don't think that her popularity has waned at all. It's ridiculous to like suggest that. Maybe Travis is the key to Trump's swing here. The president said the Kansas City Chiefs star is a great player and a great guy. Wow, I was floored at that. Clown of Carnage says just Trump being Trump. Maureen says, yeah, pretty sure he meant popularity. Tyler says the quote could have been, that's one girl, when he hated her, that I would not grab by the pussy. That would be outstanding if he wrote that. Donut Dan says he meant attractive visually. So that's the opposite of what Maureen is saying. Nick, Black Belt Nick, says he meant she's not hot, like she's not trending. Tyler says the NFL scriptwriters originally had Kelce proposing after they won the Super Bowl, but they decided to rewrite the Eagles winning it all. I hope you don't believe that the NFL is scripted. Piano Fingerbanger says, on the podcast she was on with them, she said she knew absolutely nothing about football before they started dating. Man Bun Chris says, hey, EZ, you've mentioned a few times you don't enjoy podcasts when referencing the Kelce one, and I get it with it being your job. If you had to pick one that you do enjoy when you hear it, what would it be? Just curious what creators you enjoy. Another reason why I don't listen to podcasts, in addition to I don't have time. Ozzy Osbourne talked about how he does this. If he hears he says he never listened to other metal acts because one of the reasons why is he said that if I hear it and I like it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to end up kind of like through osmosis starting to recreate what they are doing. And I am susceptible to that too. But if I had to say what I would listen to, if I do listen to anything, it would be who are these podcasts? Drew Lane. What is the one guy's name? He moved to Austin, comedian, friend of Rogan. Very much tongue-in-cheek, speaks a lot of hyperbole. I don't remember right now, but I'll come back to it. The Tuesdays with Stories podcast is also very good. That's Mark Norman and Joe List. God, who is that podcast now that's in my head? That's not in my library. All I have in my library is my show. I'll think of it later. Donut Dan says, if you were Jason Kelce, would you play as hard as you did before the relationship with her? I'm assuming you mean Travis. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think she would affect my playing ability. I would think that I'm old, which Kelce is, and now he's married. So, I don't know. It's just one more thing to focus on. That means you might have less focus while playing football. That happens all the time. Let's see here. Donut Dan says, nothing against men or women, but relationships and family changes athletes' competitiveness for sure. Oh, yeah, and it's just because it occupies your time. Your headspace is a little bit different. And I mean, Kelce's playing a very risky game. I cannot imagine why for the life of me that he would play. Anybody who has something going on. I mean, like if I'm an NFL player, I think that they are cut from the cloth to just continue to try to be a peak performer. I can't believe Tom Brady was as successful as he was for as long as he was, because at some point it's like, God, I don't even care anymore. I got all the money in the world. Get the fuck out of this. I have immense respect for rich people who continue to perform well in sports, despite the fact that they risk their lives every time they play the game. Okay, there is a pause in the action on this show. I have to go to the boys' room. So that's exactly what's going to happen now. Stand by. I will be back. I have the music on repeat. Welcome back. Or I'm welcoming you. Madison has officially flown the coop and has moved out of the house. Madison and Ash. That was the plan. They were waiting the start of their lease. The lease began. Off they go. So they're out. It is back to Pooh Bear, EZ, and the NFK in this house. Sad to see them go. But, you know, it's time to move on. I'm curious, though. I have a, because it happens from time to time where your kids will move out and then they'll, like, move back in. Some of you may have grown up in a setting where mom and dad are like, yeah, you can't come home. Like, they actually say, no. I don't know if I could do that. I can't do I can't make the hard decisions. You know, some folks are like, fend for yourself, figure it out. I wish I could do that. Excuse me. But I don't. I'm not wired that way. Like, whenever I get a family member, like, let's say Jim calls me up and says, Dad, I need some money. I'm like, yeah, of course. And then whenever I say that, somebody cringes. They go, oh, you can't do that. What is wrong with you? It's like feeding a cat. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I have to. No, you don't, Easy. Donut Dan says, I have one that's 40 that I have to say no to very soon. I think 40 is the limit for me, Easy. You love your kids, though. You'll do anything for your kids. Megan says Bruce kills me back there as he's laying on his back. It's awesome. It's hilarious. Man Bun Chris says, isn't that the point of family? Help each other out when needed. Precisely. I love the fact that Donut Dan is just here. Dan. And it's always good to remind myself and the audience that your existence and knowing me and you creating the Dirty Donut bike race, gravel bike race, the premier gravel bike race in the state of Michigan, in my opinion, led me to being the race announcer for that race. And it led me to a moment in time where I wandered away from the race starting finish line or whatever, where we gave away the awards, to have to go to the potty inside of the school grounds, the building, Martin High School, where the event took place. And that moment in time, when I was in the main hall of the school, looking at my phone, drinking some water because it was a hot day, taking a break from the heat, and thinking to myself as I'm looking at my phone, there's a foul smell, a fungus among us. And I'm like, where is that? I'm like, what is happening? And I in my brain, I'm like, that's not fart, that's feces. This is, very intense. And I hear, oh my God, that's shit. Human shit. I look, puzzle pieces fitting together. I see this guy, he's got a chair. He's going to put it over the shit so people won't step in it. A person has shit on the fucking floor. Another person has stepped in it, and now it's tracked for several several yards. A little bit less with each step as the shit falls off the bottom of the shoe and smashes onto the fucking floor with the juice. And then I'm like, oh my God. Is it me? I mean, I know I didn't shit, but did I step in this shit? And I look at my shoe, and I didn't. I did not. But it was all. I was in the zone of shit here. This area. I know I've mentioned this story many times, but it still blows my mind. First of all, that happened. But then as I'm walking away out of the building, I'm excited. I'm so excited because I have to deliver this news. And I knew that this is going to go down in history as an all-timer. I get to break the news to the race director, Dan, who is, I mean, he grinds. He puts on a great race, and he's got these amazing volunteers. And he's standing at that table where I am doing my thing, and I go, hey, breaking news. And it's Dan, this lady who is a volunteer. Her and her husband own a business that sponsor it, Farmers Insurance. And she's one of the volunteers because she's associated with the race. And her, I think, nephew. Those three. And I go, Dan, I got breaking news. What is it? I go, there is a disaster in the hallway. A human being has shit on the floor of the hallway of the high school. And someone has stepped in it. And there's a disaster zone of human feces throughout the main hall of the high school. And this is his face. He's sizing me up to see if I'm making that up. I go, Dan, I'm not fucking with you. There's shit in there right now. And then the nephew starts cackling in this ridiculous laugh. He could not control himself. He's probably like 19. He's going, this maniacal, crazed laugh. Oh, my God. I go, Dan, you got to get in there. He's floored. He can't believe it. I could have knocked him over with a feather. He gets on the phone and has to say, and this is what I hear. Hey, I need an assist. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. Someone shit on the floor. No, in the school. Oh, a person. Not a dog. Someone shit on the floor and someone else stepped in it and it's smashed and it's over by the trophy case. No, I know it, but I need you to clean it. Can you do me a solid and clean this for me? I know. No, I would be forever indebted if you go and clean that. Can you do that for me? I don't know who that was that he spoke to. Dan, who was that person? We could do a whole, you know how like when September 11th happened, a year later, they had a big ceremony at Ground Zero or whatever the fuck. We could do a whole, moment of silence. We could talk about, where were you when? Have video clips of, tell me how it made you feel. Are you over it? I mean, try to pin down who actually shit on the floor. Man Bun Chris says, LOL, what was your reaction when he told you, Dan? He was silence. He was stunned. And then he's like, I don't think you're kidding, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm not, Dan. It's there right now. Stand by. Pardon me. Donut Dan says the story is almost as good as some of those completely awesome Dude Shadoway clips, Easy. Dan says it was his middle son who cleaned it up after finding a mop, and we could do an entire reenactment show on it like 48 Hours did. Okay, let me ask you this. So the mop, what was the technique? Did he get like a bag, like you when you're picking up dog shit, and you know, pick up the large mass of it where you can feel the give in between your fingers, and then mopped it up? Or did he take the mop and just was he smearing around the pile of shit? What was the mop technique of your son? He says, I did not ask questions, just trusted the process. LOL. We need to get him on the show. Can we maybe interview, what is his first name? Can we maybe interview your son when we get closer to the event, honoring that moment where, you know, our first responders rushed in to clean up the shit? Dan says, trust the process. Just trusted the process. And Chris finds that funny. Trust the process, LOL. You know, I like that you turn to your most trusted companion, your son. Like when in your time of need, you reached out to him. And, you know, he's like, tie a rope and hang on, Dad. I got this. I got you. Tyler says, when everyone ran away from the shit, Dan's son ran toward it. He did. He was that fireman that was walking up the stairs with the hose. Dan says his son is Andrew. He lives in Kansas, and he used a mop many times as a longtime Army veteran. So those skills came back around for this. Now, I'm guessing that in his time of service in the military, no matter what he did, whether it was the tip of the spear in Iraq or Afghanistan, the trauma that he endured cleaning up the shit was worse than anything that he endured in the military. I want you to gently bring up with Andrew the possibility of me interviewing him at some point when we get closer to the honorary 1-year anniversary of Shitgate at the school. And we could get Dan's son Andrew on from Kansas. Or maybe we can interview him next year if he's at the race. I'll bring my microphone and I can do a interview with Andrew about what was going through your mind when you got that call from your dad that some monster had shit on the floor of Martin High School. Dan says he has for sure been in some shitty situations, pardon the pun. I just added to his PTSD, unfortunately. Yeah, you sure did. But I think he needs to understand that he needed a savior, or you needed a savior, and he was it. All right. My God. Never forget. Never forget. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a whole slew of sponsors that make my show possible. And I'm going to rattle off a large number of them right now because I've been talking to you for quite some time and haven't done any of my of these moments where we discuss the sponsors. TC Paintball is first today. I have a paintball war, number 25, coming up. The September Slaughter on Saturday, September 6th. It starts at 5 p.m. Hang out with me on a Saturday night. We haven't done a Saturday one. This is, I think, our first ever Saturday night paintball event. Saturday afternoon/evening. 5 p.m. at TC Paintball, September 6th. The Mexicans are going to be there and the Hondurans, so that's awesome. I love them so much. It's like a family affair. They bring their wives and their kids. It's wonderful. Free pizza party from BC Pizza to get our event started. All the pizza and soft drinks that you can have and the breadsticks. That's fun. And when you pay $35, you get the paintball gun, you get the paint, you get the mask, you get the field time. We'll play indoors unless the weather's horrible. And you can be part of it. Let me know that you're going so you can hit RSVP on the Facebook post pinned to the top of my Facebook fan page, or just reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. That just reminds me, I got to reach out to the tarantula farmer, Mitch. Hey, Siri. Yeah, I'll just do it after. I don't want to do it now. So there you go. Or you can book your own event at TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Man Bun Chris says, I miss the Rick segments and his traffic rants. Can we do axe throwing and book online? No. Kuiper says, September 6th, is that also Whalen at the Balloon Fest? Yes, it is. I'll be booked solid. I'll drive from the paintball event to the Whalen Balloon Festival for another event, the reunion of Whalen. I'm not even going home. Kuipers, you can go with me. Kuipers, we can be like paintball / Whalen buddies. Megan says, whatever happened to not a drug dealer, Dale? Dale's doing great. I just talked to him via text. He wants to get together for dinner. He's still going strong with his pressure washing / restaurant hood cleaning business. He's doing wonderful. Still clean and sober, and has totally turned his life around. We're fortunate that he's done that. He's fortunate. Good for him. Excuse me. All right. So there you go. That's all at TC Paintball. Thanks to them. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. What a great business. Speaking of Megan, ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Their phone number is 616-532-6600. Call and get on their radar, or just drop your vehicle off and say, I don't know what's wrong with it. Or maybe you need an oil change or new spark plugs or your tires rotated or whatever it is, or something more serious. They can help you keep your car running the way it's supposed to be. ervines.com. That's ervines.com for any car, hybrid, or EV. They have free loaner cars, so you don't have to worry about anybody carting you around. Thank you to Irvines, ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Frank Fuss from My Policy Shop Insurance says, if you are an Easy Show audience member and you fit one of these criteria, either your boss does not offer you health care, you are in between jobs, perhaps a small business owner, you own your own business, you need health care. Frank can help you get your health care through healthcare.gov or Obamacare. Now, anybody can do that, but have Frank do it. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. His services are free. Why run the risk of screwing up the form? Have Frank do it for you. He does not get paid by you. He gets paid by insurance companies. Other folks who can get a healthcare.gov policy are folks who their employer's health care plan costs them 9.75% or more of their pay. If that's you, that's a loophole that you can access healthcare.gov policies, which frankly are better options for you than what your boss is going to be offering you. Your boss has a policy that you can have, probably good, better, best options, but that's it. The three options with the one provider. They all might suck. When you get insurance through healthcare.gov, you've got dozens of healthcare companies offering you their products and their policies, and you get to pick and choose. Frank will find the best one for you. So there you go. Buyinsurancehere.com is the website. Buyinsurancehere.com. Damn, I got a lot more sponsors to get to. I got Catholic Charities, Kuiper Tree Care. Let me hammer these out. Catholic Charities, West Michigan, they just got on board with this show, and they're making a strong push to try to make someone reach out to them with an interest in being a foster family. There are foster kids all over the area that need a family to say, yeah, I think we would like to have a foster child in our care while the mom or dad or both get through whatever it is they're getting through so that they can take care of their own kids. Now, I wish this was a happy ending, which ended in stories of, they all turn it around, or whatever. Doesn't always happen. You need to think about this, or you need to wrap your mind around the idea of doing this for a young person. If this has interested you in the past, all children need a family to support them when things happen, to prevent them from remaining in the care of their biological parents. As you know, when a child is removed from a home, it's very, very, very traumatic. Providing a stable family environment like you have would help that person, that young person, providing love and consistency for kids who need it most. Catholic Charities also provides assistance with food programs, a no-cost baby boutique, adoption, counseling, parenting classes, and foster care programs. I want you to reach out to my friend Bernadette Joyce at Catholic Charities today if you want some information. If you're willing to find out a little bit about how this works, this is how you do this. It's information finding only. Reach out by calling Bernadette at 616-915-4695. 616-915-4695, or emailing Bernadette, letter B, Joyce, B-J-O-Y-C-E, B Joyce at ccwestmi.org. Okay? What next? Oakland Auto Detail. They want to clean your car inside and out. Reach out, call or text Eric Powie or Kristen Powie today. 616-510-3470. Please follow them on Facebook. They really want people to follow on Facebook, so they asked me to try to get you to follow them on Facebook, and I'm sure a lot of you already have. When you follow them on Facebook, he starts to see, oh, okay, these are easy audience members. Thank you. Or if you even want, follow and comment on one of his videos, which I know some of you have already. Thank you. I love this video. I follow the EZ show. He brought me here. Thank you for that. You're really helping me when you do that, because then he knows that the message is getting out there and people are knowing about it, are learning about him. If you want him to clean your car inside and out, 616-510-3470. He does one car a day. 616-510-3470 for Oakland Auto Detail. Stand by. I need water. That was embarrassing. Kind of missed my mouth there. Megan says, hole in your lip. Har, har. Maureen wants to go foaling. Yeah, I got to reach out to those folks. Foaling with the gift certificate we won at trivia. I think you won at the Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance thing. Isn't that right? Maureen says we should go before the snow flies, Megan. It expires March 1, 2026. Actually, 2029. Wow, that's a great gift certificate. All right. I have a lot more to get to today. I have an update on the wrestler Psycho Stu. Psycho Stu was the local independent wrestler, and he got beat up by Raja Jackson. We played it the other day on the show. Raja Jackson is the son of MMA legend Rampage Jackson. Raja had been working on this independent wrestling organization, and he was pissed off. If you want to see all this, go to yesterday's podcast. Just click the links. He was pissed off because Psycho Stu hit him in the head with a can, like a soda can. I don't know if it was empty or full. Now, Psycho Stu was like, yeah, that was part of a work. But Rampage didn't see it that way. But there was a video of Psycho Stu saying, yeah, it was. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. They shook hands. And then the third guy said, yeah, a lot of the times this is all a work, what happens backstage. Raja is new to the wrestling scene. He's just learning. Young guy. Well, despite the apology, which we watched that, he wasn't sorry. He wanted to kill the guy. And during the match, we saw him pick him up and then body slam him or whatever the fuck. It was a rock bottom kind of like. And then got on him and just started punching the shit out of him. Like real punches. And he knocked out Psycho Stu and busted out his teeth, and he was bleeding everywhere. He got like 20 punches in. Other wrestlers jump on the guy like, what Jesus fuck, what are you doing, Raja? And then that ends. So this guy's fucked up. It's going to work out, though. He's going to recover. And ladies and gentlemen, somebody has started a GoFundMe for Psycho Stu. Stu was in the military, I guess. And so he's got, everybody who's in the military, he looks like a nice guy, big smile. Here he is here with his cowboy hat and his lovely better half. Here he is in character. So he's doing that whole I'm an American, thing. That's part of his character. He does have PTSD. You can see here, Mr. Beast has just given $10,000. That is the world famous YouTuber. All the stars are aligning for Psycho Stu. As there's $141,721 raised. Psycho Stu's wife originally had like a $5,000 goal. But you got to understand, you're going to blow by that one. Because, he's a veteran and he has PTSD. All veterans have PTSD. Like when you go into the recruiting office and then you go there and then the recruiting officer just lies to your face and tells you about how great the Army is. and then you go, wow, this is awesome. And then you sign on the dotted line. When you go home, then you have PTSD. You already have PTSD. If you don't serve in combat, you still have PTSD. Boot camp causes PTSD. The regiment, all the rules, causes PTSD. Add to the fact that he's probably very popular, Psycho Stu, with our MAGA brothers and sisters. So they're going to step up. And one of the reasons why they're going to step up is because Psycho Stu got attacked by a black guy. So, I mean, now that's nonsense. But the racists that love Psycho Stu are probably going to dig deep into their pockets and help him out. And now Stu is not a racist, from what I know. But of the $141,721, I'm going to venture to guess that 95% of the money raised is from Klan members. Psycho Stu's wife says on August 23rd, he was involved in an unscripted assault that has left him in the hospital with intense recovery needed to regain good health. He's a U.S. Army veteran who used wrestling as an outlet to deal with his PTSD. That is perfect to write that. This incident has not only caused major physical harm, but will also disrupt his career inside the ring and outside of it. Any donation will be used to cover uncovered medical expenses, recovery support, loss of income. Thank you so much for everyone's support as we get through these trying times. All these comments. Brian writes, thank you so much for your service, white power. Sergey says, I hope you recover soon. White power. So this is awesome. I won't be surprised if it approaches $1 million before you know it. I think it would be a good thing if the WWE really wanted to capitalize on the attention of Psycho Stu getting beaten up by Raja, is to hire them both and start a storyline. You got to make some lemonade here. It'd be a great storyline for the WWE to bring these guys in and give them top-notch training. Maybe with their skills now already establish a work. But, yeah, if I'm Vince, I'm on it. Chris says you get issued PTSD when you swear in. Yeah. Chris is a combat veteran, if I'm not mistaken. Dan says make him the new Sergeant Slaughter in the WWE. Chris, didn't you get a Purple Heart? I think you are a Purple Heart recipient. I know you're not one to flaunt it, but I'm pretty, maybe you or your brother, someone in the Caterberg family is a Purple Heart recipient. And I'm not 100% sure as to what Chris did in the military. I mean, hell, me just asking him if he's a combat veteran, if he actually saw that type of action, is probably going to cause him to go bananas, and he's going to slaughter his dog and spin out and lose his mind, and it's going to be all fucked up. So my apologies. Is that a bad thing to ask a military guy if they saw combat? All right. Okay, the brother is a Purple Heart recipient. You were in the military. You were in the Army, though, right? I'm not making that up. I want to update the story of the Rhode Island chick who was the assistant attorney general. Last week we talked about this, and her dumb girlfriend were out in front of a restaurant making a scene, and the restaurant said, "Can you please leave? There's like a maitre d' stand right out front. Hey, get out of here. We got business to do." And she's like, "Yeah, fuck you." So they call the cops on her. Cops are like, "Ma'am, you got to move." And she's like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself." And they ended up arresting her, and her friend had a big meltdown. But this chick was like, "I'm an AG. You can't do this to me. I told you to turn your body camera off. You got to follow my rules." And he's like, "Shut up." Okay, this is the latest about this crazy bitch.
I want you to turn your body cam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off,
By the way, that's not true. It's only true if you aren't the perpetrator. And she is. So she got that wrong.
turn it off. She's a lawyer.
So they want you guys to leave?
Yes, we're gonna leave.
Let's just leave.
That's how the Newport Police interaction with Assistant Attorney General Devin Hogan Flanagan started Thursday night.
We'll talk over here, okay?
It was outside the Clark Cookhouse where police were called. Here's an officer talking to the host.
You guys just want to know, do you want them trespass?
Anything we can do. Trespass, yeah. I just need
Trespass,
Look at
yeah.
that. He's pleading. He puts his hands together. Anything we can do just to get these crazy bitches out of here.
The conversation between police, Hogan Flanagan, and her friend Veronica Hannon only escalated.
So you're trespassing, so we got to leave now. Unless you want to be in
We're
there.
not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're
You
trespassing.
guys
Number
are
one.
trespassing. What did
Number
I
two.
just say to you? You're trespassing.
Number
Let's go.
one. Number one.
I don't
Number
want
two.
to arrest you guys.
You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that.
We got to go.
But the
Let's go.
protocol
Wait,
is,
wait,
and your
can-
protocol
can
is
you
if I
relax?
ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and that's your protocol.
She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a Let's go. We're going. Let's go.
Excuse.
We're leaving.
Please don't.
We're leaving.
Please don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry. What?
Officers then
Talking to the husband, get your children out of here.
handcuffed Hogan Flanagan.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
She says almost a dozen times she's an AG.
But you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG.
Her friend didn't go quietly either,
Get your hands off me.
We will get.
even slipping out of handcuffs the first time
No!
and trying to keep the police cruiser door open with her feet.
Hey, kick off those shoes. Okay. There is an update. I don't know if I have it. Jesus Christ. Yeah. She's been suspended. Why did that take so long? She's been placed on unpaid leave for 6 months, her boss, the attorney general, said. Flanagan mistreated the Newport, Rhode Island Police Department and embarrassed herself, the office said, and frankly, me, said Attorney General Peter F. Narana. He said he met with Flanagan on Monday and told her she was placed on unpaid leave for 6 months. Wow. I sincerely hope she takes the time to reflect on the seriousness of her conduct and make corrective changes in her life. She has a long road ahead of her, but I believe that in the long run, our worst moments can inspire us to become better people. That's a great statement. Narana said this in an interview on the radio. She's really remorseful and takes responsibility and that doesn't surprise me, knowing who she is. So I guess she was just caught up in the moment. This guy might assume that. Or he's like, I like it because he's giving her a shot to win it back, but still she's not getting paid for 6 months. So it's a in my opinion, a strong punishment. It's quick that he gave it to her. She's had to think about it. He's left her twisting in the wind for a fucking week. And he finally lowers the boom, and she's going to pay for it. I mean, she might quit. I don't know, but I'm sure that's a pretty good job, being assistant attorney general in Rhode Island. And he said, yeah, it's nonsense. I think she should make a statement, too, about how wrong she was. Piano Finger Banger says, I love when they pull the "Don't you know who I am" card, and it totally backfires. Donut Dance says all she has to do is say she has a drinking problem and is seeking help, apologize to the officers and the department, and she will get her job back. Yeah, well, interestingly, she does have it. I mean, unless they decide to fire her after the 6 months, which would be a total pain in the ass. But no, I'm with you on that. This actually worked out. And if you're the cop, you're like, this is great. Cracker Barrel is in the news. They are getting rid of the new logo. They're turning tail after the backlash. I guess Trump made a comment about it. I didn't see that comment, the comment that Trump made. Trump had said Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo. He says they should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, and manage the company better than ever before. The struggling country-themed restaurant chain and road trip staple is backtracking on the new logo that drew a right-wing backlash and tanked the chain's stock. If the last few days have shown us anything, it's how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. The company posted on its website Monday. You've also shown us that we could have done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. Now, translated, the line in the last few days, if the last few days have shown us anything, is how deeply people care about Cracker Barrel. No. They don't care about Cracker Barrel. And you should have written, in the last few days have shown us how deeply racist you all are. Because they got rid of the white guy, the MAGA Republicans, the hillbillies, have canceled you. One of you said earlier in the show, cancel culture has gone away. No, it hasn't. This is it right here. Except it's more effective when MAGA does it. MAGA people who want to cancel Cracker Barrel like this, they don't have a lot going on with their lives. So they're fucking locked in on this. Cracker Barrel with the statement, you've also shown us that we've done a better job sharing who we are and who we'll always be. You're right. So what they want to say there is, we'll always be a restaurant for you racists. So now they need to double down and go with, instead of the going back, they need to have the old man on the logo. What's his name again? Oscar? Horace? Herschel. They got to have Herschel beating up a black dude. Then they'll make up all those losses from when the stock tanked. That stock nosedived more than 12% in one day. Trump is right, though. He says they got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. He said on Tuesday, very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. Cracker Barrel said Monday that it has not forgotten Uncle Herschel, who many people believed over the years was the figure seen leaning against the barrel in the logo. The Cracker Barrel debacle is another culture war topic stoked by right-wing influencers. Yeah, you don't fuck with these people. I agree with you. They have devastating power. I think there have been enough examples of when these assholes lock in, they can fuck shit up. I've tasted that a little bit myself. When that crazy bitch rallied her troops, her Moms for Liberty troops, and called my sponsors. Now, some of them told her and them to go fuck themselves, like Joe Martinez. But not everybody. There was one company actually two companies that bailed on me because of the backlash from when I said that that Moms for Patriots bitch's daughter is probably grandma's gonna walk in on her chowing on a muff, and that blew up in my face. Social media users have disagreed about this. Cracker Barrel was the only place that I would ever stop. No mob fights. Now, what that person means is no black people. A fun, corny atmosphere and delicious food when you're hungry and tired. Right-wing actor James Woods said on X, "I'll never step foot in one again." So Cracker Barrel is now bending over and taking it right in the keister. My God. Megan says there will be MAGA merch in Cracker Barrel soon. Piano Finger Banger says these are the same snowflakes that get offended over rainbow sidewalks. Yeah. Did you see that one? Outside of the Pulse nightclub, they put a rainbow thing on the crosswalk. That was where that mass shooting took place, and all those gay people died. So, I mean, if you're going to put a rainbow flag on the crosswalk, it's going to be in front of the gay nightclub. And people got pissed off, and they, painted over it and said, "Fuck you, white power." And Ron DeSantis said, "Yeah, I support the people." You can't do that anymore. It's crazy. Donut Dan says, total Bud Light deal here. We all know that Denny's is for 2 a.m. drunk fights and Cracker Barrel is for a total redneck country feel. Precisely. Don't fuck with that shit. Megan just subscribed with Prime and says, what the fuck is that sub thing? Sorry. So when you link up your Amazon Prime account with Twitch, that's what you've done there. So when you did that, it lets everybody know, and you get a star on your forehead. You get internet Twitch points. All right. I could not wait to get to that story. It's remarkable to me. So now the MAGAs are taking a victory lap, and they're going to go to Cracker Barrel. And if you're Cracker Barrel, you're going to see their stock go up. Cracker Barrel stock today. All right. Pardon me. Let's go back 5 days here. The day that it dropped. All right. Let me show you this. Here you go. August 14th. $62.55. Word starts to, go around that they're changing the sign. And then this was the big day right here. August 20 to August 21. $5 hit. Continues to slide. Ultimately, it drops to $54.27 from a previous high of $62.55. here, this is Monday, August 25th. It's at its lowest. Tuesday, the word starts to go around that they're going back to white power. And now it's back up to $62.49. It's down 6 cents from its previous high. That is the power of racism. Wow. This is going to be an example. Okay, now none of this is true. They weren't trying to eliminate racism. They just wanted to redo their sign. They weren't going woke or anything, as people like to say. I don't know, but I don't know what the reason is, but it wasn't that. But all you need is one asshole to suggest that, and it's gonna work. Wow. You know what I love about my audience is my MAGA friends here. They know what's up. All right, I've already explained to them where I stand, and they're okay with that. They love me. What a turnaround. What a bizarre drop and then rise to the top. Matt says lower stock prices or smash windows, loot, and rape. So that's what Matt's saying there. He's saying, us MAGA folks, we're just going to go and hit them in the pocketbook. When a place like Cracker Barrel makes us think that they're less racist, we hit them in the pocketbook. And then Matt is suggesting that blacks smash windows, loot, and rape. That's what he's saying there. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with anything he says. All right. Matt says exactly. It only hurt Cracker Barrel. Correct, but it wasn't their design to eliminate. It wasn't like it was the narrative of they're taking white people out of Cracker Barrel, which is not the case. That narrative was created, and they believed it. That's why it was so fucking effective. Nick's here. He writes, I'm not eating at Cracker Barrel either way. Bland-ass boomer food. 100% right. All right. Before we get to the asshole of the day, and I need your nominations, thank you to Kuiper Tree Care. You can find them at KuiperTreeCare.com. Their number is 616-828-8225. 616-828-8225. If you have a tree down, maybe you want to get rid of a tree and have the stump ground down. Maybe how about some tree trimming or tree risk assessment? They take care of it for you at Kuiper Tree Care. 616-828-8225. There's 2 more weekends of racing at Berlin. They're off this weekend. Next weekend, there's races on Friday and Saturday. You can get tickets for both events for $25. That's a savings. What would be a $30 ticket for both those is $25 when you buy in advance on the website by 11:59 p.m. on the 4th of September. That's when you have to have your tickets purchased by. I will be there on Saturday the 13th for another Eric Zane uninformed track announcer moment. That is the Coleman Lutz 500 when Coleman and Matt H. and their families join me at the racetrack. Tickets at BerlinRaceway.com. King's Room Barbershop, if you want to get a haircut. 3 locations in West Michigan, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street in Grand Rapids or Wyoming. Mention me, please, when you head in to King's Room Barbershop. Their website is kingsroom.net for hours of operation, exact locations, and a haircut's going to set you back $21 at King's Room Barbershop plus tip. Numerous nominations are rolling in. If you have one, please include it in the chat. Thank you to Adam Kasari. You can bang on his door if you need a realtor. Perhaps you're selling your home or you'd like to buy one. Adam can help you every step of the way. 616-914-4061. That's 616-914-4061. Who is the asshole of the day? Bob says, asshole of the day, rat-faced trailer park skank, T. Swift. Taylor Swift does not win the asshole of the day. I don't understand why you don't like her. Maureen says, Bob, your Taylor Swift description always cracks me up. Badger thinks that book club members are trolling me, so he nominates book club members. I don't know that they are. I didn't notice that. Rebecca says, asshole of the day is Bob for calling T. Swift a skank. Alan nominates Anthony Jeselnik for recommending the book Martyr. Let's see. I do have one. I have narrowed it down. It's lengthy, though. It might be our most wordy Asshole of the Day award ever. But I like it. And I was assisted in this by Cole, who writes, Taylor fans who can't control their emotions are the assholes of the day. There, we said it. We did it. Thank you, folks. Bob says, I don't like Taylor Swift. Says, I prefer Katy Perry, although she's rather dumb also. I don't know how dumb either of those people are. To me, they're pretty brilliant. You realize they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know if unemployed Bob in PA can accuse two multi-millionaires and or a billionaire of being dumb. You're going to have to do better than that as to why you dislike Taylor Swift. I mean, I get it. It's crazy that people get so into her, but I need a legit reason, ding-dong. All right, have a good one, folks. Thank you, and bye-bye.